Good morning, everyone. Welcome to a happy Thursday, terrific Thursday, totally amazing Thursday. Join with me this morning, as always. Well, not always, because he was off vacationing on Tuesday. It's Todrick, the Silver Hair Stacker. Good morning, Lag. Good morning, Ping. Good to see y'all in here this morning. So, before you get into your story about your extremely nice finds, good morning, Peddlin. So how's the business been since you were away? You got a lot of stuff to pack up and ship.
Oh, I got 4 orders going out today for $147. So not great, but better than zero.
Yep, much better. So Lag's already in here. He's sitting here with bated breath. Good morning, Jake. Good to see you in here this morning. You're out about early this morning. Or are you having breakfast?
Jake's
So
always early.
Tuesday, Tuesday, Todrick went to an auction at a former high school that they were closing, and he apparently has bought some totally awesome stuff. So, what all did you buy, Todd? And if you got pictures you want to share, just let me know and I'll send
Uh,
it.
well, I got all kinds of crap. Lag told me to buy the robotics, so I bought all of it.
Right?
It should do pretty good, I think. I don't think it's the latest generation of it, but
Right.
I still see that kind of stuff selling.
Well, just looking at some of the model numbers that I could see and then checking eBay, they look like they were going pre-owned was for like $39.
Well, it depends on what you looked at, because there's
I just used
all
the
kinds of different
right.
stuff.
Well, you had something. I think it was 160s or 165s or something like that. I looked for that number. That's the one I was looking at.
Hmm.
And it,
Uh, I don't know. I looked at used, like the controllers. They look like gaming controllers
right.
for the robotics. But they go for about $10 each, and I don't know how many of them. 30.
Cool.
Uh, so that's $300 just in the controllers, and then I got wheels. I've got 3 models that are already built. So maybe I can fire one up and test it and demonstrate it. That'll be fun. It's like a
Right.
robot on wheels, and it's got arm that sticks out, and it's got those pinchers on it.
Right.
It looks a little bit like those robots in the what was that TV show where they crash robots in a
Robot
ring?
Wars.
Yeah, they look a little bit like that.
Far out. And
Then
you
I
bought out a
bought
biology lab.
actually I bought 2.
Oh, did you? Was that Gwen or Jake that just walked by in the background? Not Jake. Gabe. Gage.
You're so good with names.
I know. I'm old.
That was
Uh,
Gwen. She's got a doctor appointment today. She's going to.
hey, Gwen.
Yeah,
Uh,
she's already out feeding the cats.
oh, okay. The cats you don't own.
That's
So
right, Beard. But
you,
I can lot 2 of them together and come out okay. So anyway, yeah, I am the proud owner of 18.
All right, let me lessen this asshole.
good morning. Scott.
weird.
When are you gonna learn? You got all them damn controllers worth $10 each. They are not worth listing or your time. Even making one listing, throw them live on whatnot and be done with them. For God's sakes, even even if
I
you make
think
8, even if you make 6, the fees are cheaper.
just
You're
think,
done. Put them. You can put them up there for $5 each, and do just as well and never have to look at them again. I told you you're the perfect person to do whatnot, except for you're so ugly for camera.
I really think that Gwen should do it instead of him because Gwen is so
You
chipper and so cute, and she would just get up there and sell the hell out of stuff,
you
just
have
like on your
access to
show,
you have
Joni.
access to good items that you buy in bulk. You're the perfect person to sell, and you tell me, "Oh my God, I got to wait for beer to talk me into it." Whatever.
Sell them for the
That,
whole lot.
that evil beer talked me into going to Nashville. And I had such a great time. He sucks.
And he bought a watch that everybody else left on the shelf.
And he gets to remind everybody about that for the rest of the year.
Um, but you bought some unusual items too, didn't you, Todd? In jars.
I hurt his feelings. He left.
He's probably talking to Gwendolyn.
He's trying to dry up the tears right now. He's crying.
Yeah. How's things been going with you? You,
Chastity, there ain't no nerves to it. You're a nice person. It'll come across, and you'll be fine. Everybody, there's an audience for all things. You just
was that last night, Chastity? I'm sorry.
she
I
said
went.
she said she scheduled it, so
Oh,
we gotta go track her down.
I my mom, out of my dad's family side of the family, he had none of his siblings. He or his siblings are alive. On my mom's side, it's just her and her sister that's will turn 95 this year. So she's not been doing too good. So my mom said that Aunt Beck had been wanting her to come down and see her. So I took her down yesterday, and it was only an hour and a half away. But time I got back, I just didn't do anything. I went to bed.
Not Aunt Beck.
Aunt Beck, Becky.
sorry, sorry about that. Gwen had an emergency. I had to get the cat food out of the back of the car.
Okay.
Yeah,
Drop the link,
you can tell the
Cassidy.
friends I hurt your feelings. You're crying and trying to compose yourself.
You
It's
hurt my
Sunday. Okay.
feelings.
Drop the link.
So I'm the proud owner of 18 fetal pigs in sealed bags. I am the owner of pickled everythings like snakes and squids, and I even got a hammerhead shark. I'm telling you. Oh,
Mm.
I got 2 new shelving units. Man, there's so many shelves I'm having to just leave because they're just too big. And
Chastity, all you do is go to your show, go to your, click on your name, click on shows. When your shows open up, it'll say copy link. Click copy link and then paste it in the chat.
I've got like,
Did you get a rattlesnake?
yeah, I got 2 rattlesnakes in jars and that formaldehyde stuff.
Mm.
Gage wants to take all those dead animals and try to sell them at that.
Hey, that's
There's,
what he's. I think my camera's got some smudge on. That's what his underwear are good for.
He wants to sell them where?
oh, there's
Oh yeah,
there's a couple of shops around that sell freaky things,
Right.
weird and unusual. He thinks he can sell them to those. Anyway,
Are you gonna let him
uh,
try?
huh?
Are you gonna let him try?
Sure. I don't want to mess with them.
Can you sell stuff like that on eBay though?
I guess. Mm,
Because it's not human body parts or human,
no.
that kind of thing. So
So I got 2 brand new boxes of Dell B2360 toner. So those are like, I listed them for $90 a box, I think.
Right.
I got beakers and test tubes and scales. I've got electronic scales and then those three beam scales. I got all kinds of stuff. Sheesh.
Now you've got another load you got to go back and get.
Yeah, I got a bunch of shelving to get. And I mean, like in a science lab, those counters and shelving up on the walls, that's
Right.
all just going to get torn down because I can't get it down. I don't know what I'd do with it, but I mean, there's solid wood cabinetry,
Right.
Hang them on the wall.
Well, there's more of it. I don't have enough walls in this house to outfit all that stuff.
Stack them on the wall.
Oh man. Plus, the demolition starts tomorrow, so everything you bought at the auction has to be out by this afternoon. So I'm going back over for another load.
Gage going with you?
Yeah, he's going to take his Suburban in my pickup, and we'll take what we can. I mean, there's school desks, there's drafting tables.
Or any of the equipment still hooked to the drafting tables?
Just tables, stools. Like lab sit
Right.
on a stool and do your lab work.
So what are you going to do with all these things if you drag all this big stuff to your house?
I'm gonna leave a bunch of it.
He's got to get a storage unit. Oh,
I did get a storage unit. I rented one yesterday. I swore I never would, but I rented a 10 by 10 for $60 a month. Damn it.
Todd, do the lab stools, do they have backs on them, or are they just the stool part?
Well, there's probably 40 of the ones without backs on them.
I'm telling you right now, John, if you didn't watch the morning show yesterday, go watch the morning show. For like the first 10 minutes, I was on fire, maybe 15. eBay does not care about you. They do not give a fuck about the seller. Forcing free returns on sellers, mandatory free returns in the auto section. You tell me how that benefits a seller, how that benefits anything. It doesn't hurt eBay. If you've ever sold auto parts and sold things that people order by model number, oh my God, I can't imagine what the returns are in that category.
Yeah.
Is that just for new auto parts or is that used auto parts? Because, what about these people that pull stuff off salvage cars? And
Damn, Todd.
Yeah, I bought a lot of stuff.
But the reason I was asking about the stools was you could like pair them up twos and put them on Facebook Marketplace because people, a lot of people have
Even with the
eat at
new
bars.
storage unit, I don't have room for that.
I'd hate to say you're wrong, but I think that's coming to all of eBay too. They do it on Amazon. They force you to do free returns on Amazon.
I need a 12 by 40.
And the problem is they don't look at Amazon. What's Amazon bitch the most about now? They're trying to figure out how to control their return problem because they've got a terrible return problem. Look at they get so much shit returned they have to sell it off. They sell it off by the truckload. and eBay goes, "We want some of that."
Well, they should look at Walmart because Walmart, if it would scan into their system, they gave you cash back. You could excuse me, you could return it and they'd give you cash. And then they learned that that's not too cool, and they started giving you, if you didn't have the receipt, then they gave you
Store
a store
credit,
card.
and
So
then
that
they tracked it, and once you hit a certain amount, you're not eligible.
yeah, without receipts.
Hmm.
And if I mean, even that's okay as far as you're trying to scam them, because at least you can go over there and feed your family. You can take your gift card and go over to the grocery section and get groceries. But they got to tighten up on this stuff because people, and it's Amazon's fault and Walmart's fault because they allowed all these returns, no questions asked. So Todd,
Yeah.
you going to? Why don't you just fill up the back of Gage's Suburban with stools, lay them down, stack them, or made them up, and just let them sit in the back of his car till you sell them. Tell him to drive the hot rod home if he lives.
There's no way a Suburban would hold 60 stools.
We'll go rent a truck. Go rent a U-Haul.
But what's the point? I mean, what's the end goal of getting all those stools? What does he do with them?
He's got to hustle them to all those rich people in his town. Good morning, Sue. Glad to see you this morning.
There
Yeah.
was a small school district. They have a school just through 8th grade, and they were there buying stuff.
Right.
And each one of those biology laboratories had a refrigerator, a nice Whirlpool with ice maker. So there's no way I'm moving this. So I just gave them to those folks. They said they would send me a receipt for a donation.
Well, that's good.
So at least I can take them off my taxes and not have to mess with them. But shoot, those would have been, if I could have gotten them home and sold them on Facebook, that would have been $150 each. But there's just so much, I bought those labs to get like the microscopes. I got like 50 microscopes.
Yeah, you'd have had to like rent a U-Haul truck with a lift gate and just roll them in there and push them up. If you'd have been thinking about it, a 26-foot truck with a lift gate. I think that's Penske.
Yeah. So I don't know.
But then you'd have to meet everybody at your storage unit. You know what I mean? How do you test them and show them that they're working? All the crazy.
They still had ice in them. The ice makers were still working.
Dang.
If you put them in storage too, if they've been running, they're going to mold up on you. Yeah, it'd be a lot of problems.
So, but I mean, I could have sold them fairly cheap and gotten rid of them quick before they started bad molding. But anyway,
Larry's right. Todd, you're living right long. Listen to Larry. You're trying to be the guy that dies with the most crap.
Mr. Sadie, you're writing your stand-up routine off of Todd, aren't you? Like a lot of comedians, they talk about their families.
Uh-oh.
What did he just break?
Clock fell off the wall.
The clock?
It wasn't that Alabama clock, was it?
Hell yeah.
Damn.
Somebody that's got Joni's phone number, call her real fast. I can tell her to come outside to the garage and console
you bought it.
Todd. Console Scott. Good morning, Beth. So what are you going to go back to get today, Todd?
It doesn't have plastic on it anymore. It still works.
Okay, good. If you're making a trip back there and you're having doubts about all the furniture, what are you going to definitely bring back with you?
Well, I'm getting some of the shelving.
Right.
I'm getting. I pretty much barely started on the second lab,
Oh wow.
so I've got. I don't know what you call it. It's a thing that heats up. It looks like a hot plate, but it's like you set a beaker on it and you put like a BB in it,
Uh-huh.
and the magnet or the BB stirs
Like an
while
autoclave? Is it
while it
honey?
also heats. Well, what do they call that? Somebody in the chat knows. It just looks like a round disc on the top of a hot plate.
Centrifuge?
No,
He says this one you put a BB in the bottom of it and the magnets in the base. Okay, because
a
Roberta used
magnetic
to work with a bunch
stir.
of labby people, so labby people. She worked in, she was a
Let me see if
data
I
manager
can.
for medical research, so she was exposed to all that kind of stuff. A
Uh,
magnetic stir. Good morning.
yeah, let's see.
How many trips it don't take you?
I've only got time to do one more trip.
Oh, okay.
So whatever gets left after this trip is too bad.
What did the bandstands and all that stuff sell, or do you know
Yeah, I saw them go for like $250
for the lot?
for all of it. Yeah, all of the stands plus the carts to roll them around on. And it was like those stands brand new probably cost at least $40 a piece, and there was at least 100. See if I can.
I was looking to see.
So they're kind of like, I don't think they're this brand, but let me screen share. There's about 20 of these I got to pick up today. Where's the screen share? Do, do, do. Okay, click the share.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was. Those are the hot plate laboratory. Okay.
I had to go off
Uh,
the grass.
so it's like you take like a lab beaker and you put like a BB down in your mixture,
Right.
and this thing will heat it up and it will also stir it.
Ah, those look like they could be cleaned a little bit. The music stands. I was looking at the music stands, and something comparable to what you showed is about new is about between $60 and $100. But for something like that, you'd have to have some connections. You'd have to have something lined up for that.
So yeah, I think that's actually the brand I have, so except mine aren't new. Anyway, there's like 30 of those. So I'm going to make a lot of money. It's just
Well,
finish
Ga-
get finish
Gage is probably gonna make money after you're gone.
That's right. Okay, you can stop screen share.
Did
But
you
I
see?
got, yeah, it's not that I got bad stuff. It's just the quantity. Now I just got to go.
Yeah, that's what you should have done, Todd. You should just went live on whatnot at the auction.
There are people that would do that. I'm telling you. There's a lady who goes every Tuesday, Monday, and Thursday from Jennifer's area and sells all kinds of mess before she ever buys it at the damn flea market.
Well, it's been a learning experience, hasn't it, Todd?
Well, it will be by the time it's all sold. Yeah.
Well, I would think it'd be a learning experience by the time you
But
get listed. Listed. Oh, I'm hot this morning. I'm so
He
funny.
only lives 5 days.
Listing.
He only lives 5 a day. How many years did he just buy worth of stuff?
3.
Gwen better start a formaldehyde drip right now. Oh Lord.
But it's like I don't know.
But
This is what I do.
this is all Phil's fault. Phil's the one talking about asking Todd how much has he bought this year. Has he bought as much as he did last year?
Yeah, it's all Phil's fault. Let's blame him.
Snake in. Spell for formaldehyde.
It's YDE, not IDE.
It's the normal lag. He's making jalapeno cheddar and sourdough.
Oh, and I got a whole bunch of car racetrack stuff. It's like a
That
physics.
that lady Chassie lives near you, but she has an antique store. Her name is Ellie something, Ellie and some numbers. She's live right
That was loud.
now, and nobody wants to talk to y'all. Bye.
Oh, I better look at that. I think I saw something.
So I'm wondering whether to bring this thing home. Let me get y'all's opinion. Let me do a screen share again in a moment. Let's see, it was 180. Sorry, I'm holding up the show.
No. I'm looking at an offer. I won't take it.
Ah, wrong one. You're getting a sale?
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, that's okay.
Okay, so I bought this lab. Let me go back and hit the screen share again. Ah, crap. Push the wrong button again. Hold your horses, folks. This is going to be interesting. Or not. Oh, crap. That's not it. Okay, here we go. These are pieces of wood. And it's like I think the physics students built a car. And this is like a racetrack. And your car goes down the racetrack, and whoever builds the best physics project wins. But those pieces are like 6 foot long. No, about 5 foot long. I don't know whether I should bring that home or not. Would somebody want that? They're really well built, made out of wood. Flag says bring it home. Okay. So there's the refrigerator, one of the refrigerators I gave away. But these were filled with scales and beakers and those stir things and microscopes. You know, I bet I picked up $5,000 worth of inventory in this one deal. At least.
That's a nice. Is that one of the refrigerators you donated right there?
Yep.
That's a nice looking steel front, stainless
Yeah.
front.
It's a nice Whirlpool refrigerator. And in both refrigerators, the ice makers were full. So anyway, see, look at all this cabinetry. There's no way I could take that down and bring it home.
Right.
So I ain't going to. I've got about 15 of these Texas Instrument CBL system. Let's look that up.
Go ahead.
CBL system. I got about 15 of these, maybe more. Let's check solds. Oh, yay! They sell for $5.
I'm sorry. What sells for $5?
A TI CBL calculator thing.
Oh, okay.
Well, I've got the whole kit. That looks like just a single.
Right.
But I've got like 15 of these. And they come in a case. Oh, cha-ching.
Well, I beat you to it. And before I lose train of thought here, I accepted an offer and it immediately paid. So they finally, for me, they've started implementing that.
See, those are all those CBL things. There's more in that bag.
Right. Is that
Just
you getting that
all kinds
shelving?
of. Not that one.
Oh,
I'm leaving that one.
why? Too big?
Yeah, those screw apart. I don't have the
Oh,
time to do it. There's probably 12, 12 to 20 of those shelving units. Just now these scales like these
uh-huh.
are like $25 a piece, and I've got like 30 of them.
Send some to you. Like you need to buy some of those for your chemistry lab you got going on in your basement. Dang, those are in boxes.
Yeah, these are those TI data collection device,
Right.
and underneath them are two of those stir things,
Okay.
heater stirs. Those are the heater stirs, and those are the. See, I got all this. That's just one room. Each of the labs has 2 rooms with that storage in between. So there's paper towel dispensers you could take if you wanted, or
Well, you need to take those to do with your hand dryers.
shut up.
Uh,
And there's some student chairs, and oh man, there's just stuff. You know, if I had a crew and a big truck, hmm
yeah, Lag makes brownies, and baking powder. Um,
Boom, 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 boom.
Even though there's probably some kind, like some government agency that's watching Todd now because he's buying all these mixers.
So would y'all bring home this physics car racetrack thing? It looks just like a kind of like a Pinewood Derby, kind of like
That's what I
racetrack.
was thinking. Is it as wide as I mean, about as wide as a Pinewood
Hell
Derby?
if I know. These are like rails, and
Right.
they got curves in them. I don't know.
Well, if you take them home, reach
Anyway,
out to your local Boy Scout, Cub Scout, and ask somebody to come by and look at them. Nothing that you might can write them off and get you another donation.
laser cut plywood. Could be. I don't know.
Um,
Where did Scott go? Is he cleaning up his clock breaker?
uh, and the vacuum guy, I mean the lawnmower guy's out there, so it's no telling with him. So now you got to buy a bunch of boxes to ship the microscopes in.
The scales aren't worth 25 plus shipping on top? Sure they are. There's 30 of them. What's 30 times 25? Minus eBay fees. So let's say I made a $20 profit on each one.
What, $600?
Wow, that toner just sold. Both boxes.
Did you?
That didn't take long. I just listed it this morning.
I don't ever remember it being called the Pinewood Derby. I mean Pinewood Speedster.
Yeah,
Well,
I
good. You
listed them
already.
for $89.99 a box, and both of them sold to the same person. So
What kind of money? Let's see, you spent $1,200 for everything.
So I just got $150 back out of the $1,200 I spent. Ha! Take that.
Like,
I only have to sell 90% more of it.
oh, let's see. What was I doing when I got rudely interrupted by selling something?
Yeah, see, John says good scales always sell.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to promote it. That's right, Chastity. Shoot, I can just tape those two boxes together and slap a label on it and bye. I spent $1,233 for everything, Beth.
Damn. Todd, those rattles like that rattlesnake.
Yeah, in a jar.
Yeah, they can go for some fairly decent money. Like this one's rattlesnake taxidermy wet specimen formula fixed in jar, $45 plus $6.93. Rattlesnake. Oh, those are just rattlesnake rattles. $150.
That's more work than you would do, John. I know some of the stuff is great big, but I mean those scales won't be bad. They'll fit in a 6 by 12 by 8 box. 16 by 12 by 8 box.
So, what was your? Did they say okay before we start this auction? Before we start this auction, let's let everybody know that we're auctioning off a room. You're buying a room. You got everything in it's got to go. I mean, is yours.
Right. And then they put in a caveat. You don't have to take everything in the room. You can buy a room, take one thing, and leave.
So when he said, what was your thoughts before he threw that caveat in there? Was like, or did it kind of all run together? So you didn't have time to think about, well, maybe this is not a good deal because I don't want everything. I can't get
Oh, we
everything.
knew that before the auction started.
Oh, okay, okay,
So it's not like buying a storage unit. I don't have to clean it out after I drag the stuff out of there. That's a good thing. You know,
right. Was there other stuff that they were selling off that they didn't have in the listing?
you bought 4,000 light bulbs. Wow. Were they at least LEDs, John?
Hey, Landshark.
LED bulbs sell good, but if they're the old incandescent, ooh.
How many of those you still got, John?
Lag, you don't sell like I do.
So what are you going to do when you get it all home? Take a day off to rest?
No, start listing. I already listed the toner. I'll bring it home and list it. Sell it. I just got $150 for 2 boxes of toner. I didn't even put them up on the shelf yet.
Darn. Well, that's good.
So I've already made back a tenth of what they sold for $189. So what do I get out of that? Do I get 100? I don't know, at least 125 net. That's at least a tenth of what I spent just in one little sale.
Chastity, throw your whatnot link up there again, since it's like scrolled so much. Chastity's doing her first whatnot on Sunday. So go look and see what she's got.
Do what?
I told her Chastity's doing a whatnot on Sunday, so her first
Oh, okay.
whatnot. So go in there and look at it. And y'all be sure and go look at Todd's store now if you want to buy some high school microscopes or scales or.
Yeah, I'm too far along in my reselling career to make a switch to $400 items. But I don't have access to $400 items.
And Lag, what's your buy-in when you're talking about having enough $400 items? Are you buying?
Yes, I do have access to $400 items. Sure, I could buy Rolex watches, but getting them cheap enough and selling them, I don't know.
Are you buying $20,000 worth of stuff at one time to be able to get to those items that you can sell for $400 a piece, Lag? If you're being truthful with us, and I'm hoping you are, since you.
Like I already told us a couple of days ago that he's already spent $250,000 in inventory this year to date.
Lag, you could have a reseller meet up and charge $25 a person for people to go through your basement. Pancakes. So you feel like you're going to be totally happy with when you bring all the stuff home you want. You're going to be happy with what you got because you got a lot of stuff to list.
Yeah, just the microscopes will pay for everything I bought.
It looked like you
Well,
had two
maybe
or
not.
three different brands of microscopes.
Yeah.
So you'll have to create 2 or 3 different listings.
Yeah. Now
And
some
if
of them I got like 10 of one kind,
right.
that'll be good. Make one listing and pack them up, send them on their way, that type deal.
Good morning, Anissa. I didn't think I saw you. I don't didn't see you come in. I thought you were
I think
hanging out.
lag is really Bezos.
He's just buying all that Amazon returns and then boxing it up and selling boxes at a time for $400 a piece. Um, but that's cool. I'm glad it's working out for you. You'll need to rest all weekend. At least Gage is there to help you. Now, was in the band room. Was there anything else other than the music stands, the chairs, or did you even look in there?
They had the chairs and stands and some drum cradles,
Right.
but I didn't get any of the band stuff.
Well, I figured as much, but I didn't know if they had, boxes
Because
of
even the
music.
snare drum stands
Huge.
they're longer than I like to pack.
Right.
So I don't mind packing a 16-inch microscope, but if it's a 30-inch snare drum stand, that's why I'm leaving a bunch of stuff. I ain't gonna mess with stools and chairs and desks.
I wonder tonight at the close of tonight at the close of business, some like liquidator is going to come in there and take everything else out that nobody gets. Because to me, that was what I did for a living, where I had a huge warehouse and I had a couple of trucks and some peeps to come over there and just say, take everything. Because that disposal fee is going to get pretty expensive. Because I don't know about in Texas, but in South Carolina, North Carolina, you just don't tear down commercial buildings and bury it. Lag. No, he just needs to go ahead and buy him a piece of dirt out in the country someplace and go in a new house and build him a big old 200 by 400-foot metal building out there.
You really do think I'm rich, Tom. You are so weird.
Well, you get $1 million for that house you live in now. But you'll have to sell the YouTube rights to the smoking lawnmower. uh, John, John says his money's on Todd skipping to right to 3 units. Todd, are you going to are you, and this is a serious question. Are you going to price it to blow it out, or are you going to price it to sit on it and wait for somebody to pay what you want?
Shoot, it'll take me a long time just to get it all listed. I mean, Scott says I only list 5 a day, so yeah.
Well, you don't have. Okay, you got the.
John, I don't plan to be in the rental unit for maybe a month or two until I get some of this stuff sold and out of here.
You just need to drain the pool, put a metal building over the top of it, so you have a basement, and store it in your backyard because you don't have time to use the pool. Probably so. So, uh,
Swamp, I bought tons and tons of stuff. $1,233 I spent yesterday or Tuesday.
okay, you got the toner cartridges, and they're already gone.
Yep.
I don't remember what if you said otherwise or not. Did you get any other toner cartridges besides the big two? Those two big ones.
No, no other toner.
Okay. So now you've got probably three different types of microscopes from what I could see in the pictures you showed. So
Yep.
that's one, two, three listings.
No, there's more varieties than that.
Oh, okay. So
Plus,
let's.
some I'll have to sell for parts
Okay.
because there's there's got to be some that are not working correctly or whatever, you know.
Right. So let's say 10 listings for the scopes. And then you got the hot pads with the bearings mixers in them.
Yeah, and there's about 3 or 4 different kinds of those.
Okay, so let's say 15. And you got you got those boxes that looks like the robot part. And one of the ones I looked at and went online to see what it was showed it was the clampy things, the claw things. So there probably is several different types of stuff in that box.
No, there's probably 50 listings of stuff in those totes.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so you got 100 listings all total. We'll
Well,
just.
that's not all I got. I've got beakers, I've got test tubes,
Oh,
I've
you got
got,
beakers and test tubes. You hadn't said nothing about the beakers and test tubes,
yeah, you know, those Pyrex
right?
beakers and test tubes, and I got, I don't know,
Pyrex. Isn't that what Joni buys?
just stuff. Well, it's the same company that makes them.
Well, you need to tell her you'll sell her some Pyrex.
So I got like 2 boxes of 24 brand new test tubes. Let's see. Um,
He spent about $1,300, Glenn. He bought a truckload of stuff, several truckloads of
so
stuff.
those 2 boxes of test tubes will sell for about $40 a piece.
Okay, so let's. What is the first things you're going to start listing?
I don't know. I haven't
Let,
even got it out home yet. What?
well, you need to be thinking about that while you're driving back and forth,
Why?
so you can get the things that like those boxes of test tubes. Get them in the works.
You always expect me to have stuff listed the day I buy stuff.
Well, you know somebody that we know and love that lives in the great state of New York. She would have that shit listed before she got back home. Oh
Well,
Lord,
she's good, but she doesn't have it listed before she gets home.
you
That's how it usually works.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I couldn't even guess how many listings I'm going to have to make.
Well, if you worked on 20 listings a day for
Plus, I got
a
other
week,
stuff to list. So anyway,
Todd, that stuff that you've had for 6 months sitting in that room has not been a priority. Oh God,
yeah, no, John, I'm going to get rated as a meth lab. All this science stuff,
that's what I'm thinking.
scales and beakers and test tubes, and are you cooking meth, boy?
Those mix heater hot pads with the mixers in them.
Mm.
Oh Lord, that would be. There might be some pissed off people because you got into their equipment purchasing.
But this is what I do. People, you know, it would take to get the quantity I got in one auction.
Right.
How many trips to um, thrift shops would I have to make to
Oh,
get that same quantity?
a lot. Spend more
And
time.
how many resellers? That's their main thing. They go to thrift stores, or even the bins.
Right.
How many resellers? That's their main gig. That's what they do, And I go to one auction, and yeah, there's a lot of work to get it home from one auction, but I can list for a month on this stuff, whereas somebody going to thrift stores and the bins and even garage sales, you're not going to get that kind of quantity without burning up gas and spending time. And
Right. Well, that's like, Bridget and Chris, they go to these auctions and they fill up their transit van. One time there, fill it up, go home, and they're done. Unless it's a multi day auction. But this was a 1 day auction, wasn't it? The thing you were on.
yeah, but
But you did good, Todd. We're just giving you a hard time.
but
Everybody.
I'm not the crazy reseller. There was a guy there that bought the gym floors, wooden plank gym floors. There's two gymnasiums they had, and each one of them has 3 basketball courts on them. And how much work is that guy going to have to do to cut that gym floor up and take it out? And there's no telling how much that wood is worth that's on that gym floor, you know.
He is probably in the business. Uh,
And the guy bought it for $2,500.
Shit.
You can imagine how much wood is in 6 basketball gyms floors.
Back when my boys were in school, there the headmaster had a set of plans for a gymnasium for the school. This would have been, God, 10 years ago, and just the flooring to do one high school basketball court. A full court for a gymnasium was like $60,000, and he bought 3 for 2,500.
6. There were 2 gymnasiums, and each had 3 basketball courts.
Wow, those are big gyms. But he is in the business. He is in the flooring business,
Well, he
or
is
he.
now.
Well, because he will come in there. To mess with that, you would have to know what the hell you're doing to be able to get it out of there in a timely manner, without just destroying the wood. And I don't know whether I don't know, but those those quartz actually mounted to the concrete slab, or are they gravity held in place?
I don't know. I bet they're glued down, don't you think? Wood plank flooring that's just glued down.
I don't know because they talk about expansion and whatnot on them. I don't know. I'm just talking out of my butt. Um,
And I wonder if they're like shiplap, if they got slots that they fit together,
right.
And then the goals in the gyms, those sold separately.
The ones that come down from the ceiling, or those?
Yeah,
Damn.
I don't know how you would even get those down.
Somebody's that's in that business, and they're going to come in there with a scissor.
I
What
got
do
to go over to those gyms today and look at the progress on them taking those floors out because demolition starts tomorrow. If they can get all those gym floors up and out of there in 2 days, they must have some heavy duty crews and equipment.
you know? I wonder how many like little private school or private schools that kind of stuff was there yesterday, or for the auction. People stuff that like the things you sit on in the gym.
Bleachers.
Bleachers. Thank you.
They sold some bleachers. They went higher than I thought they would. They were like 3-seat bleachers.
Right.
Just one section. Those were selling for like $350. Those aluminum bleachers.
Were they fixed or did they push up against the wall flat?
They just they look kind of portable. If you had like
Right.
four
Okay.
four big old boys to pick them up, and move them.
See, I mean, even if they're aluminum, you could use them outside by an outside soccer field.
Right.
So, so what's your intake on it, Todd? Do you like this kind of auction?
I do, but I guess not everybody wants to just, you know, a lot of people. Who's our gal that sells all the jewelry and lots?
Well,
She
Jennifer, not
she would
Jennifer, Julie does that.
Julie. She wouldn't do this.
Bye, Sue.
That's who.
Have a
Sue's
good day.
Sue went back to work. I didn't know she
Yeah,
went.
she's working. I believe she said when we were at Nashville, her boss hired some people after she retired, and it went all to hell, and there was all kinds of confusion and screwed up paperwork and all that kind of stuff. And she works part time, full time, you know, just to get the jobs done, get things done. So,
Oh, I didn't even notice it, but somebody had sent me an offer for that toner before the guy bought it.
uh,
Paid full price. That's funny.
so do you think you would be bringing home more if you had like Scott's double garage, so you could pile it in there, or do you think you really got what you would the stuff that you want to deal with?
Oh, I would, if I had a crew and a warehouse and equipment, I wouldn't have given away the refrigerators.
Right.
I wouldn't leave all that cabinetry, and I wouldn't leave all the desks and stools and stuff. But yeah, I got what I wanted.
Right.
I'm gonna make a large profit off of this. I should keep like a log of what all this stuff sells for, shouldn't I?
Yeah, it might be something you could look back at and say, I spent $1,300 on this school, and I ended up making
Get the desks. No,
$6,000.
no, no. But if you had a way to sell cabinetry like that,
Right.
I mean,
Or
they're solid wood cabinets. They're not that pressed wood stuff.
see, you just weren't on top of it. You should have called Jake and said, Jake, I got all these cabinets. If you want to come get them, you can have them. I'm sure he can drive from Virginia to Pennsylvania, I mean to Texas, with all the expenses that he probably can buy the cabinets cheaper up there. But
I was
you
thinking
know,
about just taking a picture of those refrigerators and putting it on Facebook Marketplace and saying if you can come get it by Thursday at 4 o'clock, they're $100 a piece or something.
well, how
But
about used furniture places? Because I
again, you're talking I have to haul it.
no. I'm talking about this guy that I have met through storage units. If he buys units that has appliances in them, he has a guy.
Oh
He
yeah,
calls this guy and says, "I've got this, and this. I
I
need to get
might
them."
do that. There's 2 dishwashers in those
And,
labs.
and the guy comes out with his truck and loads them up and takes them. Now, on these cases, he says, he doesn't know whether they actually work or not. But since these two refrigerators are actually making ice and staying cold, they work. Um, but anyway, this guy takes them back to his shop. He plugs them all in, runs them the like dishwashers, not dishwashers, wash machines. He's got it set up so he can just set them in place and hook them up. And then he sends him, a check for them.
Yeah.
So anyhow,
Whatever. Uh,
you got plenty to list.
if I had more time, I probably could have maybe sold some of that stuff on Facebook Marketplace, but
Right,
I'm not going to be the one to haul it. So
right. Yeah, Chastity. I think that's how he met up with this guy. The guy was running a ad on Facebook or Craigslist or something like that. But you got enough stuff to keep you listing for a couple of years, so you're good to go. I take it you're not going to see
yeah,
the girlfriends today.
no way.
What is this X004 midget, whatever? What is that flag? But yeah, you've got plenty of stuff to help keep you busy listing, make you some money. You just need to take a rest for a few hours when you get back.
So anyway, hope that was entertaining, folks.
It was interesting to me. You can.
On text box.
I'm scared to know what that is. Scared. Uh, but anyway, yeah, it's time. I got to get out of here. Todd's got to head to. He's got to head to wherever the hell the school's at. So
Yeah, it would help if that school was in my town. It's 40 miles over there.
that's about an hour.
No, it's about 40 minutes.
Okay. Well, I didn't know whether it
Uh,
was 35-mile-an-hour speed zone.
until you get in Waco, it's pretty much just straight highway.
Okay. All right. What's it like? 300 for two guys for a day. Ah, do you see what John said?
Yeah, but I've never sold solid wood cabinetry from the school before.
No, but you could have. It would give you the opportunity to get the appliances, that shelf that you said that you were going to take, uh, things like
All
that.
those all those benches and desks, and those
Right,
black top on those science
right. The ones that
cabinets.
acid's not supposed to eat through.
Right. They're not
Uh,
telling how much just the cabinet tops would cost if you had to buy and have them installed.
Right. Okie dokie. We got to rock.
Yeah.
Todd, be careful. Don't hurt yourself.
I'm
And
already sore as hell.
well, you get
I'm
all
not
this
hurt. I'm not hurt, but boy, I'm sore.
other than the show tomorrow. Just take the rest because you've got to have your stuff's got to be out today. You're done at close of business today, correct?
Yeah, yeah. Everything has to be out of that school by 4 p.m.
He's
today.
he's got Gage helping him, but Gage is how's his foot, ankle, leg?
He's all right.
Okay, all righty. Everyone have a great day. Look for Todd tomorrow. Scott cut out. I don't know if he's whatnot tonight. Be sure and check out Chastity on Sunday night for her whatnot. And we will see you all later. Thanks again. Bye.
If anybody wants fetal pigs, just hook, just send me a message and I'll send you a box of 10. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Ciao for